Round 1 for 1 point. Who was the first president of the USA? Team 1. And shout it nice and loud. So
George
everyone...
Washington.
Very nice. All right, so we got the point.
Darn it.
All right. Round 1, question 2. How many stars are on the U.S. flag? Team 2.
100.
Nope, sorry. Team 3.
30.
Nope, sorry. Team 1.
50.
Yes. Team 1 has 2. Oh, we'll go over the points after. I'm sorry. But for the point, Team 1. All right, question 3. How many colors are in the rainbow? Team 2.
Let me think.
Oh, Team
10.
2's thinking about it.
10.
That is incorrect. Team 3.
7.
7, that's correct. So for the point,
I have a book about it.
all right, she has a book about it. Team 4, or sorry, question 4. What is the third letter of the alphabet? Team 2.
C.
Yes, that's right. For the point. All right, round 2. 2 points each, so we've got 2 points for each of these questions. I don't know if they're any harder though. But question 5. What color do you get when you mix blue and yellow? Oh, I saw some hands. I did see team 2 first though. 5, 4, 3. Team 2 is still waiting for the answer.
Green.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Good job.
So for 2 points,
I knew that
Team
one.
2.
I had to do it in my head.
Next question. How many legs does a spider have? 3.
6.
Oh, very close.
So close. That was 2
Team 1.
away.
8. That's right. So for the 2
2
points.
away.
And the next question is, if I have 5 apples and I eat 2, how many are left? Team 3.
3.
There you go.
We raised our hand first.
I almost wrote that question a little differently, so I was like, wait. I almost wrote it backwards, the other way. So, for the next question, this is the last question of this round. For 2 points, we have question 8. Name a fruit that grows on a vine. Team 3.
Grapes.
Got it.
Yeah, I didn't really know that one.
All right. I couldn't think of any others. Can anyone else think of any others? Yes. I think they are considered a vine. The shoots. I've heard those referred to as a vine. So hey, that would count too.
Watermelon?
Well, that's a good point. I think you're right. And cantaloupe too, right? So for the next round, these are worth.
Tomatoes.
There you go. So we're gonna move on to the next round. We have a few minutes left. And quiet on the set, please. We have round 3 for 3 points each. But what we're gonna do first, let's go over the point totals. Do you have the totals? Team 1 has how many points?
4 points.
4 points, Team 1. Team 2 has how many?
3 points.
3 points. And Team 3?
5 points.
5 points. All right. There we go.
Yes, we're in the lead.
See how the rounds with different point totals, how it starts to change things really quickly too.
We're in the lead.
It's getting close.
I thought we were the.
All right, so quiet on the set and round 3 for 3 points each. The first question is, what president is on the quarter? Team 1.
George Washington.
All right, so we've got it. 3 points. The next question, how many days are in a week? Team 3.
7.
7. All right, got it. So for 3 points, you got that right.
I don't know how many days.
The next question is, what is the name of the fairy in Peter Pan? Team 2. I saw your hand was up before I was even asking the question. So Team 2. Do you know the name? Oh, you got a couple seconds left.
What is it?
Do you need the question one more time?
Yeah, I need
What's
the
the
question.
fairy's name in Peter Pan? Go ahead.
Yes,
No shouting it out.
Oh, Tinkerbell.
That's right. I almost ran out of time there. That was close. All right, so the last question of the game. The last
Such
question
a
of the
good
game.
guess.
Quiet on the set, please. Smurfs are what color?
Blue.
Blue. That's right. All right. So,
We win, I think.
Yeah, we win.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna reveal the prizes. I think I have one more.
Oh,
Should we go over who is in third place? You can say the team and the points.
So
We go
in
right through.
third place, we have Team 2 with 6 points.
So third place, we have Team 2 with 6 points, all right?
In second place, we have Team 1 with 7 points.
So Team 1 with 7 points, that's second place. So what do we have here with Team 3 then?
Team 3 has 11.
So 11 points.
We win.
So what we have here. So go ahead and form your 2 teams and get right here, line right up. Three teams total. Two per team.
Okay, me.
Can you guys practice your outside voices so we can hear you on the microphone? So we want to make sure everyone in the back. So just go right through, say your names nice and loud so we can hear you.
Carson.
Shaylin.
Dominic. Mike.
Brayden.
Violet.
All right. So team 1, and then you as well. If you don't mind, just make sure you speak nice and loud for us, okay? No worries. And this is like being on recess. You can be a little louder than you normally would be in the classroom, okay?
Okay.
All right. So welcome to the game show, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We have round 1. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
And do you know what to do to buzz in? Do you remember the rules from before? All right, you just raise your hands, and the first hand I see is who I'm going to call, all right? And it's going by Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. Question 1. What country is above the U.S.? Team 2. What country?
Maine.
That's a state. So, any other teams have a guess on that one or have an answer? Team 1.
Canada?
That is correct. For 1 point, we've got Canada. Canada is above the U.S. on the map. All right. Question number 2. What insect makes honey? Team 2.
B.
That's correct. All right. Off to a good start here. All right. Quiet on the set, please, just because the microphone's picking up everyone. And we have name a state that borders Vermont. So a state that is next to Vermont. Team 2.
Maine.
That is incorrect. Team 3.
Bennington.
That is the town that is near, so close. The town that's near Pownell, that's correct, but it's not the question, unfortunately. Team 3, or Team 1, I'm sorry. What other states are around here? Can you name another state? Go ahead.
Buffalo.
Buffalo's in what state? Buffalo's a city. Do you know what state it's in? There's a big famous city named after one of these states that's near Vermont. Team 1?
New York.
New York, that's correct for a point. There's also New Hampshire. There's also Massachusetts. I probably would have accepted Canada even though it's not a state, but it does border Vermont, so I would have probably accepted it. All right. How many stripes are on the U.S. flag? I saw the hand again on Team 2. Do you know the answer? Make sure you have an answer in mind when you raise your hand. All right, Team 3.
I don't know. Brayden, do you know?
It's more than 10, I can tell you that. Team 1.
13.
13, that is correct. For the point. All right, the next round is round 2 for 2 points. What is 10 minus 6? Team 2.
4.
All right, there we go. We got it for the point. All right, the next question is, on what date is Christmas? I did see your hand first.
December 26th.
Oh, so close.
December 25th.
That's correct. For the points, for 2 points. All right, on what date is Independence Day? Team 1. There's another name for the same holiday. Team 1, what date is Independence Day? It's in the summertime. Fireworks.
Oh!
It's still you. Do you have it?
4th of July.
Shout it out for the microphone.
4th of July.
All right, they got it. All right. Sounds like people know some answers in the audience, don't they? We got a live studio audience here. All right, then the last question of the second round is, what animal has black and white stripes and looks like a horse? Team 2.
Zebra.
That's correct. That's correct for 2 points. All right, so quiet on the set, and we're moving on to the final round of the game. The final round of the game. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. And remember, if you know the answer, feel free to put your hands up. Put your hands up when you know the answer, though, okay? In what month is Halloween? Team 2 again. I saw your hand.
November.
Oh, that is incorrect.
October.
October for the 3 points. 3 points for that one. In what month is Thanksgiving for the next question? I did see your hand first. You got 3 seconds. All right, Team 1, I'm sorry. Team 1, do you have the answer?
For what was the question again?
We have what month is Thanksgiving in? All right, you got 2 seconds, 1 second, time's up. Team 3, November for the 3 points. Good job. All right, we've got 2 questions left. 2 questions left. How many, quiet on the set, please. Oh, you raised your hand. I didn't even ask the question. How many seasons are there in a year? Team 3?
4.
That's correct. 4 for 3 points. That is correct. All right. Final question of the game. We're going to run through the answers, or through the points, I'm sorry. So, who, do you want to go through in the ranking?
Sure. So right now, Team 1 has 5 points.
Team 1 has 5 points.
Team 2 also has 5 points.
Oh, we have a tie for second place. Team 2 also has 5 points.
And Team 3 has 11.
So for 11 points, Team 3 is in the lead for now. We'll still ask this question, and we're gonna call this a potential tiebreaker. It could be a tiebreaker for second place. I don't know that it would change the ranking though for your teams. All right. So,
I want a mustache.
all right. So quiet on the set, please. Where is the Statue of Liberty? Team 2.
That would be in. You should know. New York City.
That is correct. I almost moved on to the next contestant, but you got it. That is correct. So, I think we know, but Team 1 has how many points?
5 points.
5 points. Team 2 has how many points?
8 points.
8 points. And that means we have 11 points for Team 1. So, right in order, we have third, second, and first place. So, what we're going to do is we have, this is the first place prize, or would you prefer the black mustache?
I want the black.
All right. So we're gonna swap these out. So for the two of you, you can either share, you can decide. I mean, I think you probably can't share the mustache, but
Okay.
all right. And second place, we have these 2 items. Or actually, sorry, it's gonna be the gray one.
You can have this.
Do you want the orange or the orangish color or the blue bouncy ball?
Blue.
So do you want this then?
Yes.
Perfect. And I have.
Bouncy ball.
So we have some Cat TV stickers. There you go for third place.
This is a
And from the previous teams, will you guys come up and get your prizes?
I got a mustache.
So for first place,
second.
that is correct. So for first place, or you wanted black, is that right? So you trade the gray one. Cool.
No, it's
And we have the bouncy ball. Have you guys ever been on a game show before?
No.
Nope.
All right, well that's about to change.
I've been on a show.
Well, this time it'll be a game show. So remember, you're in 3 teams. So quiet the set, please. So we have 3 teams. We have Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, and of course this is the audience here. And what you need to do though is remember, you're not going to help each other because you're competing against each other, right? Yeah. So the rules are no shouting out the answers. This goes for the audience as well, but also for you guys, because if you shout out the answer, someone else could get that answer from you and get that question right. So we're keeping score, and we're actually going to come up with first, second, and third place winners at the end by team. So in order to buzz in, wait for the question to be fully asked, and then when the question is over, then you can buzz in. To buzz in, one of your team members just needs to raise their hand. So we're gonna start off, these questions are for 1 point each. There are 4 questions in round number 1, 1 point each. First person that gets it gets the point for the team. Okay, so how many stars are on the US flag? Team 2.
50.
Shout it right out for everyone.
50.
For the point, 50. 50 stars for each of the states. I've heard a lot of people say 52. That's not quite right. See, I heard some laughter, so you guys knew that 50 was right. That was good. Ready for the next question? It is, how many stripes are on the U.S. flag?
Oh, dang it, I can't go up.
Did you see which hand was first out of 1 and 3?
It was her.
Okay.
13.
13. So nice and loud. Make sure 13 for the point.
13.
That is correct. Good job. Someone said, I was actually looking up trivia questions. One of the official answers was 14, which I thought was hilarious. Someone wrote questions, put them online, and had the wrong answers. I see some other faces like, what? That's what I said. So, question 3 for 1 point. So, which insect produces honey? Team 2.
I'm gonna lose.
Bees for the point. That is correct. You guys are getting them all right so far. This one, it might be easy, but what is 2 times 6? Team 3? 12. That's
Yeah,
correct.
we lost.
Well, that's just round 1.
Oh, it
You
is?
still have a whole nother two more rounds. So we're gonna move on to round number 2. 2 points each. So already last time we played this, someone actually, the people that were winning the first round, I think we're in last place. So round 1 doesn't always mean the winner, you know. You never know. So for 2 points, who is the first president of the USA? Team 2.
We already lost.
You got 2 seconds. What?
Abraham Lincoln?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Team 1.
George Washington.
That is correct. George Washington.
We're tied.
The next question. There are potentially multiple answers for this one. We will accept any of the correct answers. All right? So for 2 points, what state or states border Vermont?
I don't know.
Team 3. Massachusetts is correct. We're going to go ahead and let you also answer.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. So we're going to give them each points. Okay. Do you guys know one as well? You can shout it out if you want.
New York.
New York. That's correct. So we got all 3. So everyone gets points on that one.
Yeah.
So, this one's kind of similar. Might be a little tricky. Think about it. Which country is north of the U.S.? Team 3?
Canada.
Canada. That's correct. All right. Did you know it as well?
Yeah.
All right. Good job. Okay. So, the next question, the final question of round 2. Which country is south of the U.S.? So below, if you look at a map. Team 3?
North America.
Sorry, incorrect.
Can I sit down?
Team 2?
South America.
That is a continent. So South America is a continent. It has a group of countries in it. But it is south of the U.S., so that is a good answer, but it's not correct. I'm sorry. Does anyone in the audience know?
No, I want to do it. I want to do it.
Which country is south of the U.S.? Go ahead and shout it out.
Mexico.
Nice, very nice.
know that.
I was going to say that.
Thank you. Good job, studio
I
audience.
want to say
So what we're going to do is we're going to run down. That is the end of round 2. So we're going to run through. So will you go ahead and tell us, and I might repeat just for the microphone, will you tell us the point totals?
Right now, team 1 has 4 points.
Team 1 has
We're
4 points.
We're
4
tied.
points. Team 1.
Tie.
Team 2 has 4 points.
We're
Oh,
tied.
so we have
It's
a tie. Is that for
All of
second?
us.
Yes.
Tie for second, 4 points and 4
It's
points.
tied.
So what do we have for team 3?
Team 3 has 6 points.
Oh, it's close. One answer on the next round could change this whole game.
Wait,
So
how
keep
much
that in
points
mind,
is
it's
it?
close. 4, 4, and 6 is really close.
How much is the third round?
So,
3?
we're going to move on to the third round. 3 points per question for the third round, so all it takes is one question here to change the results, potentially. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you guys ready?
Ready to read.
All right. What type of trout was featured in the trout video here?
I don't know.
Team 3?
Brook trout.
Brook trout. That is
Yeah.
correct. What other types of trout are in Vermont? He did mention it in the video.
Brown trout.
That's correct. Brown trout, rainbow trout as well. So, the next 3-point question for round number 3 is name 3 of the 7 dwarfs. I saw a hand, but you put it down. So, team 2. Go ahead and shout them out for everyone.
Okay, I didn't. Hold on.
Clumsy. Sneeze.
I don't think clumsy is one, but we'll give you 4 shots to get 3 of them. We heard sneezy. Sneezy is one.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Yep, so we've got 2 so far. We get 1 more. You got to get it on this one.
I know what this one is.
Just don't give away the answers because you could get it if you could steal it if they don't get the last one. You got 3 seconds.
Wait, what did you say?
3, 2. Shout one out. What?
Angry?
I don't believe angry
no,
is
no,
one.
no.
I'm sorry.
It's her. She was second.
So we'll give you 2 points for that because you got partial. But go ahead, if you get 3 different ones, because we saw the hand, if you do get all 3, we'll give you all 3 points. But we can give you partial points as well. So go ahead and shout those out for everyone.
Yes.
Can you guys repeat which ones you've already mentioned?
Sleepy.
So sleepy
Sneezy.
and sneezy, right?
You can't-
Okay.
Yeah. Grumpy.
Grumpy, I believe that's right.
What is this?
You've got 5 seconds. For
What?
what was that?
What is it?
I couldn't hear you.
What? I can't hear you.
We need to hear you too. We got 2 seconds, 1 second. All right, time is up. Did you guys know?
I know the ones I said, but.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't. Go ahead and tell us what those are.
Dopey. Snowy?
Yep, that's right.
Dopey?
Yeah. So one of those was already said, but that's right. Those are all right. We have 2 questions left for this round. It's getting close. 2 questions left. Did you get the point totals? You're all good. All right. What is the capital of Vermont?
You should know. She put
I believe you were first.
Yeah.
Team 1.
Montpelier.
That is correct. That is correct. Were you guys going to say that too?
Yeah.
Good job. I saw the hand first though, so they did get it. All right. This question might be a little tricky, so think about it. What is the capital of New York?
I don't know.
Team 3? Boston is in Massachusetts. I'm sorry, but it's still in New England. New York's borders New England. Team 2?
Rhode Island?
That's a state south of. It's in New England though. Does anyone know the capital of New York? Let's look. You can just hear it. Look. Go ahead.
Albany?
That is correct. A lot of people say New York City because people think of New York City as New York, but Albany is the capital of New York. So that's why I thought it might be a trick question and it was last. So that it was the last question of this game. So why don't we run through the point totals?
So we have team 1 with 6 points.
So 6 points, team number 1. That's a lot though, you got a lot of points already.
Team 2 with 9 points.
9 points, team number 2.
And team 3 with 9 points.
Oh, so we need a tiebreaker. We have a tiebreaker. This is basically whoever gets it wins the whole game.
They get 5 points.
And then they win the whole game. All right. So, for the tiebreaker, listen up, quiet on the set. We're going to go with this question here. Are you guys ready?
No, but yes.
All right. Don't forget to, when I call your team number, shout out your answer so everyone can hear and we can determine who wins.
Okay.
Which planet is closest to the sun? I saw your hand just a fraction of a second sooner. Go ahead.
Mercury.
That is correct. Yes. That is correct. So, we will congratulate the winners. Team number 3. Very good job. You guys were 2nd place, so excellent job. And 3rd place, very good job. There you go. So, I'm just going to call on whichever hand I see first. It's going to be tricky. It's because I'm probably going to see 50 hands. Please only raise your hand if you know the answer, just so it helps me pick the right hand, if that makes sense. All right. So we already did that one. Which time zone is the U.S. or is Vermont in? Go ahead. You know, so I also saw your hand. You have the blue shirt.
Me?
Yep.
The Eastern, I don't know.
That's correct. Eastern time zone. On TV, you know when they say Eastern Standard? When they say like, oh, it's going to be on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what they're referring to. That's us. All right. Name 3 oceans. Oceans. I saw your hand in the front.
Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian.
Yeah, there you go. So a lot of people name seas, but we were looking for oceans and you got it. Very good. All right. And we had, this one might be a little tough, so I might ask it again another way if needed. So we can change this question up. How many pints are in 1 gallon? Oh, I saw your hand. Are you doing some quick math? You have 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2,
I don't know.
1. That was close. That's a half gallon if that indicates the answer. White shirt?
16.
That's correct. 16. All right, I'm going to ask another question then, just because this one I was going to ask as an option in case no one got it. How many ounces are in a gallon?
A what?
That would be
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you want me to say the answer or does someone else have it? Do you have a guess?
43.
Go ahead. That is in a quart, which is a quarter of a gallon. You see how the word works? Quart, quarter of a gallon. Go ahead. That's a half of a quart. So 12 is like a can of soda. A gallon is a lot bigger. Right in the back.
128 ounces.
Yes! And that is the answer, 128 ounces. Good job. Good job. All right. So, I don't have another question because we used them all. But, do you want to pick a state capital? A state that you know the capital of?
So what's the capital of Michigan?
Oh, I don't see any hands. Okay, we have a hand over here.
Yeah. Lansing? That's correct.
There you go. I think we have one more sticker here. So, just to kind of wrap things up here, what I wanted to point out is, remember we were talking about the TriCaster and the cameras that we have in the studio?
Yeah.
This is a game show, we just have one camera, but what we can do at Cat TV is actually really cool. We can take multiple cameras, and just like in a baseball game, when you have someone step up to the plate ready to bat, it shows a shot of the pitcher, it might show the crowd cheering, it might show the announcer talking about the game. What other things might you see in a baseball game?
The batter.
Yep, and you might see
The
who
outfielder.
else? Yep, exactly. You might see anyone. And what they do is they have a bunch of people with cameras, really, really high-powered cameras that can zoom really far. And they're basically talking on headsets saying like, all right, zoom in on, see that guy with the blue sign that says whatever, zoom in. And they might get a shot of that person. Or there's a whole team of people communicating on headsets throughout throughout Fenway Park, for example. And there's a person or a group of people directing the show, all for the people at home watching. And they might say, okay, bring up the graphics, show the scoreboard, they say all these different things, and it happens really fast. So it's really cool to see in a studio the pace of things, and even on a game show, you'll see the same thing, where it's like a studio audience, the camera's sweeping through the studio, then a camera flies in, the host is standing there talking, the host keeps talking and you keep hearing the host, but then it cuts to the contestants who are ready for the answers. It gets really intense, and we at Cat TV can produce that kind of show, and we can teach people how to do that kind of thing. Bless you. And a cool thing to keep in mind is that's just one of many types of shows or programs or movies or short videos, short films that you can see on TV. So if you look at any YouTube video, if you look at a Facebook video, you look at cable TV, you look at Netflix, all of those shows are produced using some sort of like technique or style. All of that stuff is possible through Cat TV, but even more so, you guys are capable of doing all that. All you have to do is just practice and learn how to do it. So if you ever want to learn how to do that kind of stuff, just practice, learn how to do it, contact us, and we can figure out ways to make it happen. But also, you can figure out your own, what you like to do. It doesn't have to be television, it could be sports, it could be science, it could be math. The stuff you're doing now, any little thing that you find interesting, like I mentioned earlier, if you really like numbers or math, that could be a career for you, or just a thing that you do that you enjoy doing. So keep that in mind as you go through different classes, as you do clubs, performances, things at home. Any of those can lead to a career, or just a way to make money, or just a way to really get good at something. So if you look at Career Day, for example, or Career Week, if you look at what kind of work went into coordinating this, think of all the work that it took to get people from all over the town to come here and do different things. That was all done by someone or a group of people who are really good at what they do. So there's a career in just about anything. So feel free to keep that in mind. Hopefully that part wasn't boring, not as exciting as like talking about how to produce a TV show, you know what I mean? Like talking about careers might seem kind of boring now, but it's something you're gonna wanna think about at some point. But there's no pressure. A lot of people might say like, all right, what do you wanna be when you grow up? You don't have to know yet. Some people that are 50 are still figuring it out. So no pressure. Okay. Did you guys enjoy the game show?
Yes.